Right, nitr0, that brings an end to your run here, IEM Katowice. Looking back on the teams that you beat, obviously it wasn't meant to be today, but tell me about the run overall here for you guys.
It's a pretty good run overall, considering our last tournament result. But this team and the experience we have, we should be making playoffs consistently, and we all understand that. And like every single tournament we attend, playoffs is a minimum, you know, like because we have the core of the Grand Slam, and you know, like Kinder up and comers, insane up and coming opera. Like we have all the pieces of the puzzle. Just a matter of time before we can finally get that tournament win. Because last year we didn't get one tournament win, really sucks. But moving forward, we have some really big tournaments coming up, and EPL and the major in May and stuff. So we know what we need to work on, and that's the most important thing.
G2 have looked really formidable here. We know that you guys took down FaZe, and we know that you took down Vitality, but G2 looking like a different beast. What was the kind of game plan going into today that you felt like to find success would have been necessary?
I think it's hard to say because they're playing really well right now, and it's not like I can say a definitive thing that would have changed the game today. I'm not really sure. I think we just need to keep practicing, and maybe we're not there yet to be the best team in the world, but at least we're making it competitive, and we definitely beat some top-tier teams here. And for me personally, I feel like it's something that we can be proud of, and just keep moving on and trying to do better next time.
In terms of the series and the two maps, there was two kind of different stories. Like Anubis looked pretty close, and then they just pulled away. And then in the case of Inferno, it looked like a blowout, and then you guys pulled it back. Weren't able to close out the same way as Overpass. Tell me, from the perspective of the series, what was kind of going wrong for you guys?
I don't know. We couldn't really get our footing going, and we've been losing too many anti-ecos and force buys. So when you lose those rounds, it's really hard because not only are they building their economy, they're also hurting our economy really bad. So when you lose those rounds, it's really hard to get like that back-to-back round, and we were losing a lot of the clutch scenarios today. They're playing really well in those clutch scenarios. And whenever you're playing against the best team on the road, you need to be on playing with their clutches and comms. So overall, I think that was like the biggest takeaway for me today was working on like the clutches specifically and figuring out like what we should do better for next time, and hopefully we can capitalize next time on the force buys and anti-ecos, because we shouldn't be losing those.
You also mentioned that making playoffs is necessary for you guys, and like that's the expectation every time now. Someone that's kind of new to the team is OC, and he's gotten a bit more stage experience. We saw him come out of his shell quite a lot at this tournament. Tell me about seeing that from him, like kind of stepping up his game here in Katowice.
Yeah, I'm super proud of Josh this tournament. I know he's been struggling a lot with confidence issues and stuff, so seeing him come out of that shell and step his game up is really good signs for us. Every team has a really good operator right now, especially the like top 5 teams. So we need to have Josh hitting the shots. And this tournament, he really stepped up his game, and you could tell the difference in our like overall gameplay. Like we're able to beat FaZe, Spirit, all these really good teams because Josh is having huge impact in those specific matches. So yeah, I mean he's gonna continue to work hard. I know for sure he's a really hard worker, and he's gonna be really good.
OC's one player that stepped up. One player that kind of disappeared for Katowice for the high level he's set is Yakinder. Can you tell me a bit from your perspective as the IGL, what was kind of going wrong for Yakinder at this tournament? Because he was by no means bad, but it wasn't the high center that we've come to expect from Yakinder.
I think a lot of Merrick's role on our team is very like aggressive and ambitious peaking, and sometimes it doesn't work out in his favor and it looks really bad. And statistically speaking, like he's not going to be like on the top all the time because he's in these roles where he's the one creating zones and taking space for us. And if they have like a setup there and he dies, and he's like -1 KD or whatever. So I mean he's a crucial part of our team. He's a crucial part of like the way our structure is, and sometimes that's just how the tables or the table unfolds. I think that's the saying, but. I know him. He's a super hard worker. He knows when he needs to step up and play the game more or whatever. Maybe focus on macro, and he knows what it needs to be. So next term, I'm sure he'll be way better.
Like you said, Yakinder has a lot of like aggressive roles in the team. In terms of another rifler on the team is Elige, and you mentioned to me back at Cologne when you picked up Yakinder that he wanted another rifler who was aggressive. We saw his kind of T-side stats drop off a bit and a bit of a struggle towards the end of last year. As an IGL, what's it like trying to accommodate both of those aggressive riflers and get them into the best positions possible?
I think Elige has been I don't know. He's been working really hard on trying to figure out like why he's maybe in a slump or why he's not as consistent as he was before. I don't really have any problems with him, you know, like in terms of like his own performance. I know that when he goes like he does. I've never actually seen him in a slump my whole career since I played with him. So he's really trying to figure out what's going on, and we're all trying to help him and, you know, like watch the games back with him, figure out so I can get like other perspectives on what he thinks that we should do to help him and all these things. So I'm 100% confident for next tournament he'll be back in form, and he actually the last 2 games he played really well. So he's definitely starting to show that form again, and I think for next tournament he's going to be fine.
You also mentioned that there was a couple of things like that were going wrong with like anti-ecos and stuff like that. With EPL coming up and a lot of like big tournaments, is there any like major things that you guys need to focus on going into those to get to the higher level?
Yeah, I think number one and foremost is the anti-ecos. We need to be winning these. Our pistol rounds are pretty good this tournament statistically, so not really much to look at there. Maybe for next tournament we need to focus more on like the clutch situation protocols, what we should be doing, where we should be. Those are just the things off the top of my head right now that I can think of, but I'm sure there's a lot more issues that we need to go back and watch and figure out what we should be doing better. But yeah, I don't really have like this is what we're doing wrong right now, you know. So overall, this tournament was pretty good for us. We're playing very confident, and that shows to me that we're on the right path.
A semi-final finish is something to be pretty proud of with the performance that you guys put in here. With the final tomorrow, you guys took on G2. We all know what Heroic have been about. Who do you think you're kind of favouring in that best-of-5 final?
Hard to say. I haven't been really watching much Heroic, honestly, but I think I'm going to say 3-1 G2 wins. I think G2 is playing really well right now. I think with the way their confidence is, it's insane. Like they're all like figuring out the gaps at the perfect timings and stuff. So, but then again, Heroic's playing really well, so it's hard to say. But yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to side with G2 for the final.